So I would greatly appreciate it if you guys support this book. You can look it up on Amazon. It's also on the website, perceptionovereverything.com/shop. All of our merch is there, not only just the book, but digital albums, merch, etc. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about what inspired me to even write the book. Per the title, I feel like the best thing that we can do, at least on this planet, is to inspire others, right? We can only take the memories that we have with us whenever we, pass. So it's only right that we inspire others by, leading through example or by bettering our own selves. And everyone is still growing, everyone is still learning. But in those lessons, we have to be able to, aspire to be better than we were yesterday, day at a time, right? So with that in mind, I compiled a list of some of my favorite poems, some that, people who have been following me for a long time may already be familiar with. It's on some of my albums, right? Some of these are actually songs that I've transposed into poems because I can kind of do that as far as my artistry is concerned. So this is the art of inspiration, the highest human act. I obviously gave a lot of acknowledgments to a bunch of people who helped me get here, and although I may or may not still be working with these people, the things that they taught me will always live on through me, as well as, in the things I teach to others. So let's see which poem we're going to start with. I literally had no idea which poem I was going to read, So I'm just going to pick one to see where it goes. I guess I'll start with this one. And this actually the foundation for me even beginning this company or anything like that. I think that a thing that inspires us that we tend to forget is music. Music has this uncanny ability to change our vibration, change what we think, change how we act, change a situation that we thought was so hurtful to us. We can play a song and work through those emotions, right? So this one is just called The Muse. Music is this muse we refuse to acknowledge. It preys on our desires, turning them into words, hooks, and melodies while we pray and desire for our world to be heavenly. So, boy, that mixtape better be fire. Better be the best ballad you ever wrote. Because it's you who chooses to use the words we never spoke. The latter is that we try to show you we matter by splattering on beats, for you to hopefully be acquainted with us by the pictures we paint vivid, and that you give us a listen, thereby giving us a living. Because without expression, are we really living? So again, expressing ourselves is one of the prime ways we can, hope to aspire to be anything. Even the cars that you drive on the road were the expressions of someone's mind that wanted to say, hey, I think this design would be great as a car, let me make that. And, now we have electric cars and cars that drive themselves and all kind of futuristic malarkey. We're literally in the future. So I guess matter of fact, I'll do a poem in each section. So I think I'll read this poem. It's called The Road Less Traveled. This is actually the name of my project, as well as the name of a book, which I didn't even know that. It's actually in, the Rustic library. But in life, we tend to have to traverse a path that not everyone can follow us along. And we want to bring everyone with us. We want to keep everyone with us that's been there from the start. But as time continues to go on, we realize that not everyone can walk our path. Our path was made for us. And there are people who, can assist us in walking that path, but ultimately it's, ours to walk at some point, right? You have to pave the way for yourself before you can bring others along. So this one is called The Road Less Traveled. The road less traveled, the path few go. Our life is so fast, but some things make us go slow. We want to pick up the pace, but that doesn't facilitate our growth. Plus, I heard you had to go to the edge to get a hold of hope. So instead of acting with an addiction to a temporary low by jotting notes that help folks cope with their troubles. That made me sound super old. We want everyone to go. The whole squad. All the people who held you down when you were lost. But over time, people, just like nature, evolves. As something grows, the number of paths and partners can get small. The road less traveled isn't made for all, because it only has enough space for you and at times a slim few to get through. It hurts to let go of those you met along the road. You wonder if sacrifices were worth the toll. But there's no going back. The marathon must continue. It'll take a lot of the strength within you, but you only win when you make it to the end of the road less traveled. So that's the poem, guys, The Road Less Traveled. Again, everyone can't walk our path, but it's up to us to actually support those who do walk our path. So I think another poem I'll read. Another poem I'll read is called Remember Who You Are. So this one kind of just came to me. I'm of the belief system that life talks in metaphors, right? Life is one big metaphor. Even the idea of a temple, right? Your body is a temple. Your own house, the walls. The walls that we put up around our own hearts, etc., etc. So this one is kind of a metaphor in that sense, and hopefully you guys kind of understand and overstand what's being said in the poem. So it's called Remember Who You Are. Life is a movie, except I'm my director, and all I see is actors. Probably because I'm too real for some. There are people who haven't realized that the writer finished the scene. The director said cut, and there are actors still on set looking real dumb. They haven't opened their eyes to see that the script had its run. Back to reality. We think our stories make us. Actually, we make the stories. We get so lost in the lives of others told to us many times with many lies that we can't see we're the ones making the lines. You're dead wrong if you don't understand that we bring these thoughts to life. The last segment is pretty nice. You see, the heart is where the home is. Self-love is the best love. Love to the Creator is such a romantic potion. Once you remember this, you remember who you are. And not a star in the sky can shine as far. So that poem is Remember Who You Are. And that's a dope little thing I have. I think I'll read one more from this section just because I'll read that poem and then I'll read the preface to the epilogue to my next book. I think that's going to be super cool as well. So this one is called The Story, right? KRS-One said that it's never really the object that has value, it's the story we tell behind the object, right? Even the phone that you're probably watching this on, that phone has its own story as to why you got it, and that's why it has such an importance to you. Or maybe you have things in the phone that are of importance to you, things like that. So this one is called The Story, and it's kind of letting you know that, again, you're creating your own stories. And the day you do realize that, you're able to create new stories. Or step outside of stories. It's called a story. Everyone, everywhere, everything has a story to tell. More often than not, it's hard to tell it. Even more frequent, we embellish, shed light on a perception that's left field from the anthill. The best stories build suspense. Actually, no. The best stories build sustenance, plant seeds. We just don't like to deal with the weeds. Instead, we smoke weed, seeing these trees but forget the roots that caused it to be, foregoing the saplings before they had leaves. We want every spoiler to skip to the end, to blend ingredients without working the pot, tending to the plants without working the plot, then wonder where the glory goes. The setting is the most important part, just as much an art as the story told. Everyone, everywhere, everything has a story to tell. And every day is a new story. Now go write it. So that's a story, guys, and hopefully you're creating your own stories.
Honey.
So I'll finish this off with an excerpt from the latest book that I'm working on. It's called Game Over, A Different Way of Life. So this is a book that is essentially a life manual, but it's written in the form of a game manual. You know how we used to get video games back in the day, and they used to have the whole manual telling you what the game is about and how to play the game and the directions, the different what things on the screen mean, etc. like that. So this is just a small thought piece that kind of kicks the book off and kind of gets you into the flow of how the book is going to operate. Think about this. You are not the game. You are not the character in the game. You are the being playing the character. You are the being that chose to play the game. Who are you? What game are you playing? What part of the game are you playing? Does its content or concepts facilitate growth? Does it serve a purpose when the game is over? If prompted, could you stop playing the game? Does the game change you, or do you change the game? Does the game control you, or do you control the game? Is the game a part of you, or are you a part of the game? The most important part, who started the game? Who has the power to end it? The answers lie in the questions. These aren't loaded. You know the answer. So what stops you from leveling up? What bosses haven't you faced? What puzzles haven't you solved? Do you have the tools, the experience? Do you know how to play? Have you learned the controls? Do you even want to play at all? How do you react when you lose? And can you even win the game? I'm ready, if you are. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nate Jolly. All of the things that I spoke today was from this very small little book right here, The Art of Inspiration, The Highest Human Act, available on Amazon and currently at the Rustic Raven until about 4 p.m. where I'll be signing your copy of the book. Feel free to stop by, get yourself a copy, and also check out the crystal shop that's here as well. This is one of the, I think the only shop in the Florence area that actually has, various crystals, and it's not the only place that has incense, of course, but, I think our selection is definitely different from some other people in the surrounding area, and there's a great team of people here that are helping you become your best version, including me. So if you wanted to even book services as well, I do card readings, dream interpretations, ancestral healing, things of that nature, helping you discover your true self. Feel free to stop by. But most importantly, pick up a copy of this book. This is the juice right here. I love this book, and I'm excited to distribute this to as many people as I possibly can and inspire you to be you. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Nate.